On today's video, I'm going to shock you with scary facts about medical errors that happen more than you think it does. You might even think twice about going to hospital next time. Unless it's urgent, please go to hospital. If it's urgent, it's going to save your life. And if you like this kind of content, or you're enjoying my series so far with the disturbing illustrations, please like and subscribe. And then please see a therapist because you might not be okay. Let's get on with the video and let me fill you in on all the facts that's going to keep you up at night about medical errors. Medical errors kill more people annually than AIDS, breast cancer, and drug overdoses. It is one of the top 3 leading deaths per year behind heart disease and cancer. We rely on doctors to help us, treat us, and save our lives. A lot of people don't even question them. But if you knew exactly what was happening in the health sector, you would never put your faith in doctors again. I'm now going to go through the top reasons why people are maimed or even die under medical care. Number 1, misdiagnosis. This is without a doubt the number 1 issue in the medical practice. Wrong medication is given that does not fix the real issue. This can prolong patients' suffering physically or even mentally. For example, a patient could be experiencing chest pains, and a doctor can look at the patient and diagnose them with acid reflux, only to realize that he sent the patient home and they ended up having a massive heart attack. Number 2, objects left in patients. Surgeons have left surgical objects in patients after surgery. The most popular item to be left inside a human being after surgery is sponges, followed by needles, scissors, and clamps. This can be painful and even kill the patient or suffer a lifetime injury. Operating staff are supposed to count all instruments that are involved in an operation several times before and after the surgery. This kind of malpractice costs hospitals $100,000 to $200,000 per case on average. Number 3, bed sores. One of the most common medical errors is not moving a patient for long periods of time, causing bed sores. Some people even have to go back into hospital because of the bed sores sustained by a previous care. It is such a preventable thing, but if left untreated, this can cause infection, cellulitis, and sepsis. Number 4, not being informed when something goes wrong. 30% of doctors do not tell their patients when something goes wrong. For example, if they had died on the operating table and brought back to life, sometimes the doctor, the surgeon, will not inform them. Because of this, there may be complications down the track that the patient doesn't know why it's happening, and it could have been stemmed from when they did die on the operating table. Number 5, wrong body parts or organs being operated on. Surgeons have operated on the wrong limbs, organs, and even person. The wrong arm or leg has been amputated before, and there is several stories on the internet. If you go and have a look, it will disturb you. And there is one story on the internet of a lady in her 80s had the wrong side of her brain operated on. Number 6, incompetence and negligence. Some doctors are incompetent, just don't care, or are not informed properly of the patient's problems. Patients can withhold information on symptoms and side effects, and medications cannot be right under the circumstances. Doctors can insert breathing tubes down patients' necks and rupture the esophagus or damage the throat, causing long-term to permanent damage. Number 7, staffing issues. Understaffing and/or fatigue can lead to medical staff making mistakes from not being able to think straight due to lack of sleep. Some nurses can do 24 to 36 hour shifts with little sleep. Let's take COVID into the picture at the moment, with the amount of nurses that had to leave because they didn't want to be vaccinated, and also nurses that had to leave because they got COVID. The complete understaffing of the medical system at the moment was completely horrendous, and so many patients were dying from that. One thing that you may not have been informed of is that what they ended up having to do was bring back all the nurses, and they're in here, I think in Australia there was about 7,000 nurses that did not want to be vaccinated, and they ended up bringing them back anyway without the jab so they could attend to patients and take the workload off the existing ones that were there, because people were dying from not being attended to. Also, wrong medications administered to patients. For example, a paralytic anesthetic was given instead of a sedative, and also the wrong doses have been given, which result in maiming or even death from toxicity/overdose. This can happen if staff does not read the labels properly. This also comes back to fatigue, and especially if some medications have a very similar name and spelling. Or some staff are substituting certain drugs for other drugs that they think are going to actually work the same, and they don't. On rare occasions, some can administer wrong medication in a malice, harmful way to cause death. So in the illustration that I have done today for this video, I ended up going with this person, this woman who is laying on a table, like a morgue sort of table, and basically she has come into the hospital and she has died, and I've even done like a little report up just of a few of the medical errors that I have touched on in this video, just to throw some in there to sort of get the message across that this person had died from an untreated infection which was in her arm, which the wrong arm was amputated. As you can see, she has an arm that has been detached from one side. This one was the healthy arm that was removed, and it shouldn't have been. It should have been the other arm that has all the pussy sores all over it and has the cut that is the source of the infection, which is the reason why she got sepsis. Also, she's missing a leg. Just thought I'd throw it in there that she's missing a leg and it's unknown where it is. Also, the other leg is just sitting there, not attached as well, but it's just sitting at the bottom of the bed, just for complete pure scare factor and horror factor. Just wanted something like that. And then she's also got like her hair's just sort of flowing up, and she's got like a cut across her head, so her brain's been checked as well. Yeah, that's basically all I have done, and just made some blood marks on the actual bed that she's laying on this stainless steel tray bed. I don't know what they're called, but they drain to a certain point all the fluids from people, which is quite disturbing. But I tried to do the board, the bed, I tried to do it in like a metallic sort of silver color, sort of gave it like a blue tinge as well, and it sort of didn't work on this cheaper paper, so it looks a bit weird, but all in all I think it all worked fine. And yeah, it got the point across of you know, what can happen in the out there in the house sector, and you know, humans are human beings. You know, they do screw up. Unfortunately, they're in a job that they sort of can't afford to screw up, but it does happen. And you know, mistakes are made, and unfortunately people do lose their lives. And it's very sad that this does happen. But let me know in the comment section below if you have ever encountered a medical error in your life, or you know of someone who has encountered a medical error and it has either maimed them or, you know, even worse, taken their life. Because it is scary, and I'm terrified of hospitals. Like, I don't like going in them to visit them. Like, being someone who can sense the energy around them, and going into a hospital is like the worst feeling ever. So I have been blessed in my life that I have not had to encounter being in hospital for a long period of time. I think the longest I've been in a hospital was like 7 hours. That was it, and that was just to have a troponin test, just to make sure that there was nothing wrong with my heart. Back when I was about 28, I think 27 or 28, I was lucky that I had to wait 7 hours, and I was lucky that there was nothing wrong with me. I was just having a stress attack. So hopefully you enjoyed these facts and you enjoyed this illustration, another 3D illustration. I might even keep the 3D theme going with these scary facts. May not always be 3D, but I'm going to try and do them 3D. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.